Let's do it.
Ladies, gentlemen, another episode down, number 13. Welcome to Have a Chat with Ray and Stat. Ray, how are you, punk?
I'm good, mate. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, good, bro. Good. Just getting ready for another big week. You know what I mean? Had a pretty good weekend. Had a bit of a chill one. Ready for another big week, bro.
Another big week of lockdown, mate.
Oh,
Man, episode 13 of Have a Chat with Ray and Stat. You know that means we officially hit the 3-month mark?
Yeah, we've exceeded 3 months. That's right, actually. Now that you say it, we've exceeded 3 months.
We're in the first trimester.
Wow, that's scary.
Yeah.
You put it like that, it's very scary.
Mate. I know, I can't imagine having a baby. That'd be too scary. Nah, man. Yeah, that. I'm over it, as I say every week. But, I'm starting to, I want to say I'm starting to see a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, nice.
How about you, bro?
Yeah, all right, bro. Going all right. I've been getting out a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Like me and my mum now go for walks every second day.
Yeah.
Then when she dogs out, I go for runs. Bro, I found this mad.
I don't believe that for a second.
That's fine. That's okay.
I believe you and your mum going for walks, but you voluntarily going for a run? Nah, no chance.
Yeah, I know. Look, it sounds unbelievable, but I'm loving every minute of it. I'll tell you that.
I'm so happy.
As I do it, I run across this beautiful, beautiful cricket pitch in Punchbowl. It was a wonderful cricket pitch. Hey?
Which park?
Literally called Punchbowl Park.
Dead.
Literally called Punchbowl Park.
All right.
That's where I've been going. So I've seen this thing, and I've thought this is absolutely majestic. Every time I go there, I was going to go and I should take a photo. I might go tomorrow. I'll take a photo. I was like, mate, I've had a cricket pitch next to my house my whole life, and I've never noticed till now because I had to start appreciating parks.
Cousin, can we go for that kick of the footy like we planned to? But we never did.
Yeah, it's because you dogged it. That's besides the point.
It's on my fault. I was sick.
Again?
Yeah. Listen, it's besides. Let's do it. Let's go to this Punchbowl Park you're speaking of.
Yeah, bro, we have to. It's actually very nice.
Yeah?
Very, very nice. It's very good.
Quality. So you're going for runs, bro? That's good.
It's mad, bro. Yeah, just something, bro. Got to get out, do more.
Yeah.
Try to get rid of some excess weight to put on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get rid of the excess stuff. So, no, it's been good, mate. It's been good just to get out a bit more. Last night, I met up with one of the boys. We hung out for like 3 hours. We did a cute little walk, except it wasn't an exercise walk. We picked up Cold Rock and then went to the Punchbowl Park and just sat down, chatted. It was actually very good, man. I think it was fantastic. I just needed someone to talk to.
You need that, bro. Yeah. You need that to.
It was so good. We had the biggest laughs. We had very good chat about different things, mate. It was just it was good. It felt good. We both cop calls from our mums every 4 minutes, but we ignore those. But no, it was good. We had a good laugh. It was just good to get out, see people again. Just break the what's happening.
Break the routine. Yeah. By the way, I've had a lot of people send me DMs commenting on me touching my beard a lot. I don't know what to tell you. It's comfortable. Sometimes it itches, so I itch it. I touch my beard a lot. Make a game out of it. I don't know.
Yeah, I did the same. I rewatched last week's episode with Mick, which was phenomenal. And I was just doing this and doing that. I love it, bro.
There's something about having a beard this length where it's like you've earned the right to start playing with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
It's so fluffy and like long.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love the fact that the thing I was upset about, I kept touching it so much last week, was because I actually trimmed it. And people are going to laugh at me. You didn't trim your beard. It looks the same. Fair enough. But I trimmed like that much off it the whole way around. And so I was kind of like very sad last week because I was like, man, I trimmed too much on my beard, even though it's still pretty long. But I love it. Like, especially when you get out of the shower after you shampooed and conditioned it, and then you just sit there and it's just beautiful.
Bro, when you comb it for the first time, it starts detangling and just gets flat, bro.
Yeah, it's the best.
I'm really falling in love with the beard life, bro.
It's good. It's good. Long hair, long beard is fantastic.
And the fact that my mum is a fan of it is a big deal. That's a massive deal. Bro, she normally hates facial hair, hates me having a beard. Goes to me the other day, I like it.
Because your hair's long, but if you had a haircut and your hair was shorter and then you had trimmed the sides and you have your beard long, she would hate it.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
Speaking
of do much, you grow both.
That's true. Speaking of hair, how's the mullet thing going, bro?
Bro, good, man. I got to say, I'm grateful for the response I got. So I chucked it up on the socials. You all would have seen it. Put a total of $200. I thought, you know what, I'll raise 200. When we did November last year, I raised I put my thing as like $500 my target.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, 500 seems pretty good. It's a great cause, whatever. And then I ended up raising, was it $90?
Okay.
So I was like, you know what, I'll do 200.
Realistic. Try to set a decent target. That sort of thing.
Yeah, I set something a bit more realistic, especially because of the times that we're in. So I set 200, and I exceeded the 200 within the first 3 days. So shout out to all those that actually chipped in.
Say that again.
So I exceeded the 200 mark.
In 3 days.
3 days. I was shocked, and there's still more to go through. So a lot more people message me. We're gonna, once we get a bit of a payday, we're gonna chuck in something as well. It's been overwhelming, man. It's been pretty cool.
Mate, thank you to the Have a Chat fans out there. That is awesome.
Yeah,
that is
really cool. A lot of them were fans. A lot of them were actually fans. It was actually really funny. And very thankful for that, I guess. Considering the goal that we're trying to achieve. It's not so much the mullet. Like, yeah, the mullet's the fun part of it, but it's more we're all coming together to play a part in mental health. I thought it was very overwhelmed. Like, I saw we hit the 200 mark, and I kind of got a bit emotional. I mean, this is fantastic. Like, this wasn't something I expected. So I'm expecting a bit more to come in from those that have already messaged me and shouted out. So big thank you to everyone, I guess. Big thank you to everyone that's gone ahead and put through whatever funds they could. It's very much appreciated. So yeah, no, mate, I'm wrapped.
That's good, man. That's awesome. That's so cool. It's so cool to see the community that we're trying to form get behind that. That's great.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that was very good. I was very wrapped with it. And mate, hit $200 already. So in my head, I was thinking, man, maybe I should put up to 400 or something. But mate, you know what? I'm happy. Got 200. I hit 200. If I can do more than 200, why not?
Go for gold.
Man, people do it for like a year. Some people raise it for a year. I saw a bloke when I first logged in.
So wait, is this not like timed? Is this not like a time challenge or event?
Usually it is. So when I jumped on, it was like, oh, September's going to be Mullets for mental health. I'm like, okay. I think it was the more the mullet part is the timed.
Okay.
I think raising the funds is consistent.
Yeah.
Well, I jumped on, and I signed up the day before September. So that way it kicks in September. Right, sign up. I'm looking at this guy, $31,000. What? Wow. And I was like, we haven't started. I was tripping out. I'm like, well, we haven't started. I just got to put up 31 grand. I couldn't believe it. Then I realized clearly he's done it either 1 year or 2 years, whatever it was, but his guys built up his thing like $31,000, and then others like 30 grand and 28,000 and 26,700. Like, and I'm looking like, mate, this is exceptional.
Yeah.
I'm proud. I hit $200. I'm not just going in the world. I did it in 3 days. These guys been doing it for years. They hit like 31 grand. I was like, $31,000 is an insane amount of dosh.
Good on him.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was mad.
Mate, today, man, they found AJ, the 3-year-old. 3-year-old went missing Friday. They finally found him today. Mate, well done. Great work to all the SES crew, the New South Wales Police. That's an answer to prayer. I know a lot of people were praying about that. So congratulations to the family there. Yeah. But, mate, as I was watching the news report today, the breaking news report and all that, I took notice of something. The reporter that was reporting for Channel 9, his name's James Wilson. The mullet this guy's got on him, bro, is all on. He's a blondie, so he's got blonde hair. From the front, it just looks like it's a nice, neat, comb-over sort of haircut. But then he turns his head to the side as he's interviewing one of the family members, and this thing is just flowing. Like, it is long as. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, how does Channel 9 allow this? Like, is that not considered, like, not professional? But two, what a gorgeous mullet he had.
Bro, it's a mad mullet. And when you're on the top of you saying that, when you think about it, this guy's probably doing some initiation as well. Or he said to them,
initiative.
I'm going this mullet.
Initiative.
Whatever, same thing.
And initiative.
Different. Same thing. So
definitely not.
Definitely the same thing. We're moving on. I think it's I think what he's done is he's probably said to Channel 9, listen, I'm going this thing, and if I can keep it off camera and make it not obvious, let's see how we go. I reckon there must have been like a deal broken between the two.
Either way, phenomenal mullet, and I'm not a fan of mullets, as I've said before. Phenomenal, and man, great reporter. I really liked him.
You only liked him because of the mullet. Apart from that, I don't think you had heard of him before.
The mullet, he's a very good reporter, bro. Like the way he was talking to the family, he wasn't intrusive. He was involved in like the whole start to finish. He was very genuine. I really liked that about him.
Yeah. You know what? You know what they call that though with that reporter? That's what they call business in the front, party in the back.
That is exactly what business is. He is the definition. James Wilson, you are the definition of a mullet.
Mate, business in the front, party in the back. That's what we call. But look, on what you're saying on reporters, did you see the hold up in Queensland last week?
No.
Mate, these truckies went out in Queensland.
Oh, I heard about this. Yeah.
Bro, it was
good on them.
It was phenomenal. They blocked it off and they had backed up traffic kilometers. And they were like, "Oh, look, we know we're just trying to get a voice. We want to have a choice in regarding the vaccine, or whatever." They had their certain stances on what they wanted to do, and kind of get their voice heard. So they blocked off traffic. Fantastic, great idea, loved it. What was funny about it was Pauline Hanson met up with them in the middle of the highway and was like egging it on, and not like in a sarcastic way. Like she goes, "Yeah, this is phenomenal."
Sounds about right.
Yeah, and then. I don't know if you've seen it, bro. One of the funniest things I've ever seen. The reporter's reporting on it. This chick comes with a sign, like into the camera. So she's got like a camera, like she's got a sign out. It's kind of saying, kind of like freedom of speech. Let us choose whether we want the vaccine or not. Something along those lines on this sign that she was like petition with the people. Bro, she walks up to the lady who's reporting, and then she goes to her. She goes, "Oh, so you can see what we're doing is a good thing. So you have nothing that's rubbish to talk about, do you? You have nothing to say about COVID now. You can see we're doing a good thing here. How are you going to twist your story now?"
No
and then
way.
The reporter just went in. She goes, "Okay, all right, moving on." Man, I laughed. I watched it. I laughed. Man, I love the people, bro.
That's the quality you get in Australia, bro. You get some characters.
Pauline Hanson's enough of a character.
He's a character.
I've rocked up in the middle of the traffic, and to get there, the guy was getting interviewed. And he goes, and the cops had rocked up. And the cops were like, "Man, what's the hold up for?" He goes, "Look, we're just doing this and that." He goes, "Look, because I know what you're trying to do, and I know that you're not being aggressive or a jerk about it, but I'm gonna need you to, I'm gonna need you to leave now." He goes, "I can't have you holding up traffic. You've done it for a while. Kind of get your point." But what I loved the most was he didn't go out and say, "Oh, stuff the cops and start swearing and go on a barrage." He goes, "Look," he explains the thing. He goes, "Like I told the reporters that they're not at fault. They're not the ones that are pushing these laws. They're just doing their jobs, but we just need to find a way to voice our concerns." He goes, "But the police were fantastic." And I love that, bro. I love that, Hey?
It's about respect.
Yeah. And
that's no issue. Not going to have an issue.
Yeah, bro. And it was good. It was good to see that, there were people out there that actually have some sort of decency and respect for the cops that are doing it there. Because I know a few cops myself that, like, obviously aren't a fan of what they're trying to do at the moment, but that's their jobs, man. It's their livelihood. They're the ones out there protecting people, I guess.
To protect, and a couple of bad eggs make a bad name for the rest of them.
Yeah, bro. So, but look, seeing that from the reporters, man, and like the reporter, when she got shocked from what she said, she goes, "Oh, now you don't know how to twist the story, huh? Now you have nothing rubbish to report on." She's like, "Okay."
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. As you can see, I'm wearing my Advisory Corp accounting shirt. It's because I just interviewed our mate Jake Farmy, bro. Great interview.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Very excited for that episode of Talk to Me. Yesterday's episode was just as good. I interviewed our mate Nate from Elevate. Great talk about real estate, all that sort of stuff. Jake, his episode's coming out on Monday. Guys, you've got to check this one out. We go for a while, and he's got some knowledge in him, bro.
Yeah, he's brilliant. Jake is brilliant. He's a smart
bro. We talk about small business, all that sort of stuff, but we also talk about like the Aussie economy and how this whole COVID thing is affecting it. Really good chat and how to be a Christian in the workplace, blah, blah, blah. But the reason I bring it up is because, ladies and gents, he was actually meant to jump on to have a chat tonight. But unfortunately, some things came up, so he couldn't do it. But so that's why we don't have a guest this week, because after last week's guest, mate, it's hard to follow through from that episode.
Mate, it didn't take much. So the second the episode started and Mickey was doing this, you just knew. You just knew that if he got off that moment, we ended up after 7 seconds, it dropped every episode. And mate, the fans loved it. The fans loved the Mickey.
They love it. You can't not love Mick though. That's the thing. Like I thought about it the next day as I was watching the episode. I go, he's a character, but he's got something about him. Like there's just this charisma about him. You know what I mean? Like when he dead stares you or dead stares the camera, you can't help but laugh.
Yeah, he's a character. Everything he does, like all his actions, his charisma, mate, everything about him is absolute champion. Well, I was actually very upset Jacob blocked tonight. I'm very, very upset.
What are you gonna do, bro? You know?
He's coming on next week. Did he confirm he's coming on next week?
He didn't confirm that, but I guess you're calling him out right now.
Jake, what are you doing to me, mate? Nah, it's all right. It's all right. Jake is he's a busy man. This Jake.
He's a very busy man, bro.
So how long did the episode go for?
Solid 55.
Yeah, nice. It's the longest one.
I wouldn't say it's my longest one, but it's up there.
I've talked to me.
Yeah.
Yours like the longest one?
I'm pretty sure. I think I went for an hour with someone.
Fair enough.
I don't know, but I'm enjoying Talk to Me, bro.
Liking it?
I'm loving these stories I'm getting, man.
What is it about the most? Is it the different types of people and the different stories and just everything they've gone through? You're just trying to like.
It's that, but it's also like I'm learning like so much. There's different aspects of life that I'm learning from different people. If that makes sense. And it's just like experience. Like I think the best way I learn anyway is through experience, and seeing the experience of others is helping me learn and adds value, bro. Adds value to my life, adds quality, man. And on top of that, it's just being able to share these people's stories. You know what I mean? Like I think the thing is, as people, we all go through the same struggles. We all go through the same problems, but we don't realize that. So when you're able to hear someone talk about that openly and how they got through it, you're able to add that to your life and say, okay, I can add this, I can do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's just so many cool people out there. I love listening to their stories.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's very enjoyable because even those that we think we know very well, we hear like a thing or two, like, oh man, I didn't even realize about that. So it's actually good.
Yeah. It's also opening doors, bro. I've got a mate of Bow's jumping on next week. Sorry, not the week after Jake's episode, so 2 weeks' time. Her name's Stacey. I'm looking forward to it, bro. I'm starting to meet people, starting to, start to move.
More.
Yeah, it's starting to move, bro. It's good times.
It's good, man. I know you're getting a little bit better with the interviewing.
Thank you, bro.
A little bit. Don't get too much of a big head, but yeah, you get it.
That's it. That's the big head now.
Nah, but it's good, because obviously if you want to do something like that, you gotta start somewhere. You gotta give it a crack.
Bro, that's the thing with this whole podcasting thing in general. Jake and I were actually talking about it, is just you got to start somewhere, bro. You don't start with 1,000 subscribers. You start at the beginning, and you look at those first couple of episodes, and you think, "What are you doing?" And you cringe, but you just keep moving forward. You keep building. You know what I'm saying?
The same thing that you said about KBB when you first started KBB. It was the same thing that you were saying when you had first started, and then it was like by episode 3 or 4, you're like, okay, I know it was only 3 weeks ago. Or whatever it was, but how the heck do we end up with that? You got to start somewhere, 100%.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing is, bro. Like people that start something, it's cool seeing their progressions, cool seeing them grow. Speaking of, we're at 89, so we're nearly there. We're nearly at our next target. I got in contact with Benji last week. We sorted him out with his Wolfpack feed. He's going to be cashing that in real soon. Once again, thanks to everyone that jumped onto that contest, jumped onto that competition. We had a happy winner, bro.
I know. I copped the message from Lil Bow now, my boy.
Lil Bow, yeah, he wasn't happy.
He messaged me and he says it was rigged. And so I just sent him the face, you know what I mean? Just a little emoji there. And I said, mate, it is what it is, huh? But that was the funny thing. He didn't have his name listed on there as well. His name wasn't even in the hat.
What do you mean? His name should have been in the twice.
Hey?
Did you forget to put his name in the hat? I sent you in the list. His name was meant to be in it twice.
I put in once.
This is awkward.
Put in one anyway.
Who cares, bro? Benji was in there like 4 times, bro. He shared a lot.
Yeah, I know. The thing is, he shared a lot. But not only that, you can't just have it once and think, oh, he's going to pick my name doing it once.
That's it, bro.
Come on, Bal. Now you're better than that, bro.
Ladies and gents, you want to win these competitions, you need to try. You know what I'm saying?
You got to put in effort, and it's it's surprising the effort that even cousin Benjamin went through to get this
Mate.
podcast feed. I was very surprised.
Big Ben just he's showing the love for have a chat and talk to me, man. It was good.
Mate, they all are. You know what? They all come around.
Listen, they all like to pretend to be haters, but at the end of the day, they end up coming around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, a few do. There are a lot of haters, including myself. You know, that's just how it is.
Well, you know what? I was talking to Goose about that the other day. You're probably our biggest hater.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, the amount you talk and talk crap. Yeah.
I love it, but you know why?
Why?
It eggs you on.
It doesn't make me on. It's just like you're a gronk.
So it eggs you on. It gets upset.
That's the way to say it. You're a gronk.
Bro, you got to have fun.
100%. Listen, this
that's
is
me having fun. Like, okay, just on that, right? It's not just for our podcast. It's even with my podcast.
I know.
And I love it. People have asked me, they go, like, do you get like discouraged when we tease you about your podcast, like your league chat one? I go, no, I love it. I go, it's fine.
Who would? Who cares? But like, you know, show me support, your dog.
Look, I show support. What do you mean? I'm on here. You're asking for support, man. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here every week. Busting my chops.
Sometimes,
the podcast alone.
Sometimes it's hard to get you on here. Let's be honest, bro.
Mate,
tonight it took you 30 minutes.
Bro, league chat with the stat takes priority, mate.
League chat. How is league chat with the stat going? All right.
Good, bro. It's good. It's very good. I advertised my podcast this week just to see how it will go. Look, skyrocketed in views, but also skyrocketed in abuse.
So I explained it to the people. That was so funny.
So this is the first time for me, yeah. So I've decided to put in a bit of money into getting my podcast out there. I've hit about 340 odd likes on Facebook on my page, which is pretty good. Thanks, man. So that's all through advertising. It's fantastic. I love advertising. It's phenomenal. So I put it, you know what? I advertised my actual podcast as opposed to doing the page because I got a lot of likes. I had like 140 odd likes from the page in 2 weeks. I go, that's very good. Okay, maybe if I advertise my actual podcast,
subbies for the podcast, yeah.
Get me subbies. So I was doing that, and I was like, I'll put it up, and you know how like you just put it, you pay for it, you get it done, and you doesn't think about it, and then you get a notification, someone commented on your thing, oh man, someone new. I get someone new, and it was a lot of swearing. I was like, get the bleep out of my off my Facebook, bleep this and bleep that, and I don't want to see this bleep, and I'm like, okay, fair enough. And then his Facebook profile was bleep off, and I was like, oh my goodness, like
he's really not a fan.
Any paid advertisement, his profile pic says it all. If you have paid advertisements, don't share it to me. I'm like, man, that's not personal. I share it to 10,000 people. You're supposed to be one of them. What am I gonna do?
On Facebook for? That's all Facebook is.
The guy abused me, and then I cop some interesting because sometimes when you click on the link or you click on something, it sends an automatic message to the person that's clicked on it on Facebook. And so I had like 4, stop sharing your stuff. I was like, it's my first time. I'm getting abused.
What's the demographic you said it to? Angry old men?
Bro, I said it to all ages. So
That's
from like 15, because I'm like, yeah, sport. 13,
Yeah.
13 I said to 13. 13, like, yeah, everyone loves sport, everyone loves footy. So as long as it was 13, I did it as old as 65.
That's probably why you got the angry old guys in.
Listen, it's very funny.
Bro, it's quality.
It's very funny. But look, honestly, like the last one I did last week, there was a lot to discuss. I kind of went into a bit of depth with what happened the week before with Latrell Mitchell from Rabbitohs and Joey Marnie from Roosters. Got a lot of views. Got me no subscribers. I was like, oh, that's very interesting. Just gets me a lot of views. But you know what? It works. But you know, the whole advertising factor of it works. My name is out there. Brand new people are watching it. So for me, that's good.
It's slow progression, bro. Speaking of ladies and gents, we've got about 89 of you subscribed to our channel. And Stat's in the 60s at the moment with League Chat. Do us a favor right now. Jump over to League Chat with the Stat. If you're not subscribed to him, subscribe to his channel. Let's get his numbers up there, guys.
Yeah, let's get boosted my numbers. Listen, you don't have to watch it. Oh, yeah, I won't get upset.
It's all good.
You don't even have to watch our podcast. But if somehow you come across it and you do it.
Like, it'd be nice.
See, right? There you go. That's the GF I love. That's what I love doing. That's why I love the GF. But, what's it called? Yeah, look, people have said, like, come up to me and they're getting that, like, stat.
Long.
We don't listen to your podcast. And I go, that's okay. And they go, oh, you're not upset. I go, I don't care.
You guys have, listen, everyone has 24 hours in the day. If you have a spare 3 hours to listen to all 3 of our podcasts in your day, I don't know what's going on with your day.
Yeah,
I don't have the time to listen to our podcasts.
Bro, that's why I say, people are like, oh, we subscribe, but sometimes we don't click on the video. I go, don't explain yourself to me.
Please.
Yes,
your subscription and your liking and your comment, that is enough for, like, thank you. We appreciate it.
Enough. That's it.
That's it. Yeah. I mean,
I love it because I love, like, in the beginning as well. In the beginning is the hard part.
It's so hard, eh?
The beginning is the hardest because you know what? Like, I want to do a podcast. Like, after a lot of convincing left, right, and center, then you start it. I remember the first week, some of my close mates, they go, bro, what are you doing? I go, I'm just starting a podcast. And they go, man, you're an idiot. I go, oh yeah. I got nothing to do with the podcast.
No, nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with the podcast. But, like, over time, because it's one of those things where, like, people go, oh, I'm gonna jump on a mic, go on YouTube. Oh, it won't last. Yeah, well, fair enough. A lot of the times it doesn't last. But
like you and I have always said, like, the people closest to you are going to be the most critical about what you're doing,
and that's good.
Yeah,
that's good because that's the care factor. But it's very hard, like, within our circles, especially to get them to listen to rugby league. Like, some people that have subscribed, they go, look, we don't even know a thing about rugby league. I go, no problem. If you want to unsubscribe, even better. I don't care. It's fine. You have to. It's all good. But listen, that's how you just you got to live with it. Like, I think you got to accept that not everyone is going to be on board with what you're doing. Whether it's people you know, whether people you don't know, because you see a lot of social media profiles out there.
That's funny, bro. That's funny because Jake and I actually spoke a lot about that, like, just in business and how you're going to get a lot of hate. You're going to get a lot of negative comments, but you just got to. Yeah, you've got to get past that. Here's a question I have for the people, Stat. It's not for you, it's for the people. Okay? And I really want to respond. So, guys, if you don't mind, please comment, send us DMs, whatever. Like, let us know the answer to this because I'm really, like, I'm curious. I take a look at the analytics every week, as you know, Stat, and I try to see how we can improve and what people are liking, what they're not liking, whatever. I've noticed that consistently every single week, we have about 30% of viewers viewing every episode but aren't subscribed to the channel. So 70% of our views are subscribed people. I lost my mind there for a second, bro. 70% of our people watching are subscribed, but the other 30% that are consistently watching week in, week out are not subscribed. Why? Why aren't you subscribed? Is there a reason for it? Is there something that we can do to convince you to subscribe? Do you just not want to? I really want to know the answer to that because it just intrigued me. Like, what can we do to get you over the line and join the community? You know what I mean?
Well, I think I kind of see it from both ends, though.
100%.
Like, I see it from both ends. Like, even my podcast, like, when people go to view it and they've never heard it before or never seen it before, and they just jump on and they check it out, you can't, like, sometimes you can't be sold on one podcast. Like, you can't be sold on one.
No, what I'm saying is this is consistent. Like, this is over 2 months. Like, I'm looking at the numbers from 2 months. This isn't just one episode. It's 2 months worth of episodes where it's like 30% of people are just not subscribed. So I was just genuinely curious. Let us know why. Tell us in the comments section or, we'll put up a poll.
Oh, don't put up another poll.
I love the poll, bro. I love the poll stat.
No, listen, you know what's actually very upsetting? And I wanted to try this because we spoke about it with Mick last week. This whole KFC thing where you go and you don't feel sick after without the wings and that. Very upset, bro. I didn't get to try it.
Bro, I completely forgot to put that poll up.
Yeah, that too. Actually,
I'm going to do a poll day tomorrow. I'll do a poll day like I did last time. Just question after question. I think most of your life issues Stat can be answered by a poll.
Yeah, look, I wouldn't call it poll day, just for the record, just in case.
Okay.
A questionnaire.
We've got to come up with a cool name.
We've got to come up with a cool name with it because poll day.
You know what we could do, Stat?
Oh, I regret this already.
We could put up a poll to come up with a name for the day.
Yeah.
This is like pollception.
Yeah, that's when the bad idea kicks in. I think it's when you come up with a name there.
100%. Bro, you know what is a good idea though? What these Scots are thinking of doing.
Scots?
Yeah, the Scots, bro. The Scotlands.
What do you think he's doing?
Bro, this is from foxbusiness.com. Scotland announced plans to trial a 4-day work week, making it the latest nation to join the trend as more others explore the possibility of a permanent switch. The Scottish National Party is making good on a campaign promise to try and reduce worker hours in a bid to boost productivity and worker happiness.
I mean,
a 4-day work week.
That's brilliant.
Let's ask the question though. Do you think that would make you more productive? Like, besides the whole, how great would it be to have a long weekend every weekend? Like, yeah, that would be great. Do you think, like, if you were a business owner, would that make you and your company a more productive company?
I think it will.
Why? Why do you reckon? I don't know.
For me, like, not that I own a business or I have people working under me, nothing like that, but I think it's if you get everyone to buy into the one common goal and say, if we want to make this the best workplace ever, and we control working, do everything in 4 days and get everyone on board with it, it'll motivate everyone to get it done.
Imagine trying to get the whole country on that same page.
Will the pay change though?
No, it says here that workers will see hours reduced by 20% without any impact to wages.
Sign me up.
What a dream.
That's really good. But as I said, it's more, you got to get everyone on board with the idea and you got to trial it. Like, you got to, obviously, like Scotland are doing that now, but I think in your own business, I think it's something you'd have to trial and see if we can get the work done in 4 days as opposed to 5, why not? And we still earn the same amount of coin, why not?
Well, bro, this article says that 80% of the country is for it.
I think they're for the long weekend.
Yeah, 100%. But do you know how they found out that 80% of people were for it?
They did a poll.
They did a poll.
You have to, because there are millions of people.
How do you know if something's a good idea or not if you don't have a poll? Do you see what I'm saying, Nathaniel?
No, I agree with you.
That is why the polls are important.
Yeah, no, it is. I think just the name of it isn't.
And that's why we need to poll the people.
That's why the people need to buy into it.
Listen, I'll tell you this right now. I love when people comment. Good comments, bad comment. I love when we get interaction. It actually, can I tell you that? It brightens up my day. Like today. Yeah, bro. Like today, I got a Snapchat from our good friend Sean. The Snapchat of Talk to Me, and the caption in the Snapchat was, "I love this show." Brightened up my day, bro. I love a good comment. I love a comment. Yeah, I love a comment that says, you should have done this. Love it. Add it. Let's do it. Know what I mean?
Any publicity is good publicity, mate.
I like knowing that the people are enjoying it, or they have ideas, or they get involved, you know?
I think that's when they come in, because once they start seeing a product and they start seeing consistency, they want to chip in their 2 cents, which is fantastic.
It's all about them, bro. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, it's about giving them something they want. You know what I mean?
And seeing more of that. Intriguing. I like it. I'm all for that as well, because I get a lot of that on mine. Like, we would say, "Oh, hey, why don't you try out this, or why don't you do this?" It's very good, because it shows that people out there, whether you know them or you don't know them, they actually like. They want to see an improvement. They want to see the best. They want to see the better of it. So
it's like when you watch a TV show, and everyone's like, "Oh, they should do this next season, or they should do that next season." Or when you're watching your club, and you're like, "Okay, I'm hoping that next season they do this, this, this. They trade this person out. They bring this person." Like, it's investment. By the way, ladies and gents, if you couldn't tell already, we've got nothing to talk about tonight.
Yeah. We literally just spit in whatever we can.
This is literally what Have a Chat with Ray and Stat was initially meant to be. Just us sitting down and just talking.
Our first hashtag was off the cuff.
Off the cuff, bro. Remember that? We should get a shirt made.
Yeah, we said that in the first episode.
We did.
And then everything shut down. But
that's why this whole Zoom thing's been harder, bro. Because it's so much harder to like come up with stuff, because you're not in the room, you're not vibing off each other. It's just
not the same.
We have to put something together.
Yeah. Every episode, someone's cutting off someone. It's very hard.
Yeah, it's weird.
But you mentioned something earlier. You said, speaking of club, what about these dogs that yesterday, bro?
No.
Right. Listen, I know I should save it for my podcast and that, but
Nah, let's talk.
I almost drove to Belmore and danced because I was so happy.
I fell asleep 5 minutes into the game
Fair enough.
because stock standard, it's the Dogs. I didn't expect one. I woke up to like 2 tries. I'm looking around. I go, what is going on? And then what I saw from the Dogs, from that point onwards, I was speechless. I was like, this is what I've wanted to see all year. I don't want to see perfect footy. I want to see you guys caring.
Yeah.
The kick,
Sorry, I missed that.
chasing the kick.
Yeah.
Being grubby in defense. Stopping them at your line. Like, bro, that's the first time we've held a team to 0 since 2018.
8 years, 2013.
Has it been that long? I thought they said in commentary it's been 3 years.
Could have been 3 years. I heard 8, but I could be definitely
Really?
wrong.
Either way, it's been a minute since we've done that.
Yeah, that was the most impressive part for me. I looked at the way we played yesterday, and I was analysing it all, and I was looking into it. We've done nothing different in attack because we've just been garbage all year in attack.
I think the one thing we did do different in attack yesterday was we followed through.
We followed through.
Like, as in, they chased the setup.
Yeah.
There's never been a chase, bro. Like, all year, there's been no chase.
Yeah, it's been a tough year. I'll be honest, in terms of how we've gone, mate. We won 3 games all year.
3 games in wow.
3 games.
3 games, bro.
So for me to watch yesterday, and everyone's like, "Oh, it G's up for the 2022 season. It's so good to win now. It would jump into next year." It won't. It's
Okay.
just.
But that's something they kept saying yesterday. I want to talk to you about because I said that last year when we had that final 5-game run last year. I was sort of like, okay, I'm excited to see what we do in 2021, and it did nothing for us.
Yeah.
This cannot affect 22. Like, it gives you a little bit of a spring in your step, but thankfully we're having a massive clean out happening and we're seeing some new blood come into the club.
Yeah.
Hopefully that does something for us.
That's what needs to happen. So last year, Gold Coast. So Gold Coast ended the year on a 4-5 game winning streak, and I think they just missed the finals. And they had they did a whole doco thing, which was really good. Which I love. Like that doco in the off season it was fantastic. But he talked about carrying on from what they had done in 2020 and bringing it into 2021, and it had no effect.
Yeah, it really didn't.
The reason for that is there's new players, new system, coach trying at new things, new players coming in, old play like new other players leaving. For the Dogs, it was more. They all say that. I think the media say that just to kind of like
hype up.
A lot of the fans just like.
To be honest, I hate it. All year, I have hated it when they prep a game and they say, "Oh, the Dogs are good at this," and it's going to be good to see the Dogs fight. But it's like, no, stop trying to hype it up. The Dogs are rubbish. Just say it. Please stop trying to give me hope because I've cried too much this season.
How many times? And did you actually though?
Yes. There were times where I actually cried, and it's the first time I'm admitting it all year. All right, let me tell you how my season went, Stat. The first 5 rounds, I made it a point to wear my oversized jersey. I have an extra large jersey, 2005.
Yeah.
Sat in front of my TV, sometimes by myself, and would watch the game. That slowly started to die out after that. 1 week I missed putting the jersey on. The next week I put it back on. The week after that. And then it died to the point where I was just like, honestly, I hope we get smacked. And then a little bit of hope would come back once we were versing rubbish teams, but then we'd get smashed by those rubbish teams. And it was just, bro, it just hurt. You know what I mean? To the point where I'm sleeping through a Bulldogs game.
Yeah, that's weakness.
See what I'm saying?
I see both sides. I see that the club's struggled for many years. You know, Hasler and Dib came in, wrecked a couple of things in our club, stuffed their salary cap for years. But also, just the just a toll it takes on a lot of fans because there are a lot of diehards, a lot harder than I am, where they have. I've spoken to some, and they're like, "Mate, I don't want to borrow another year. I can't sit through another game. If they on my TV, I'll turn it off." And I've spoken to a lot of mates where I've done a lot of fantasy football with this year, where they've watched their team doing a lot better than the Bulldogs, but 1-2 games they were like, "No, we're not watching today. We just got to turn it off." For me, I can't do that. I cannot fathom sitting there watching my team and then turning off, because what I do, I switch my mind.
I can't turn the game off.
You fall asleep, so it's kind of the same thing.
Well, yeah.
See, I switch something in my brain switches. So what I do is I watch the game as a Bulldogs fan, biggest Bulldogs fan, and go the Dogs and whatever. In every game, it's not just like we're coming against Storm. I'm not just gonna watch this as whatever. No, I'll watch it as a proper fan and I'll follow as a proper fan. When I know that it's gonna become to a point where we are absolutely losing this game, and sometimes there's no point being upset, I'll then switch it to I'm just enjoying a game of rugby league. And when you do that switch in your mind, it's so much more fun.
Yeah, but I can't switch. Like, as soon as I see the blue and white on the screen, I can't. I've got too much invested. You know what I'm saying? So I can't make that switch. But you know what interested me? I finished off the Tiger Town doco series.
Yeah.
The final episode isn't an episode. It's Blocker, Benny Elias recapping like the whole show, and they're talking about it. It's an hour interview. It's great. And sorry, I've forgotten the reporter's name, but it's the three of them recapping. And they're talking about the whole show and whatever. And then the reporter said, I would love to see a Canterbury Bulldogs version of this show next year. I said, wow, that would be interesting. Not because we're going to do amazing. And this is exactly what he said. He goes, they're not going to do great and they're not going to do rubbish. They'll have consistent wins and consistent losses, but it'll be very interesting to see how the injection of all this new blood into the club starts to revive it. That would be a very interesting doco.
It would. I would have loved to see snippets of this year. So we came 16th this year. We came last, got the wooden spoon. At least we won something. Everyone else have a dig, go for gold. But I want to see, and it sounds like ridiculous because, like, as a fan, you want to see it, but I want to see how Barrett, the Dogs coach, mentally prepares for every game, because he struggled all year. Like, he goes, mate, this is one of the hardest years I've ever dealt with. Like, they lost 21 games, and we had to shift the game to Queensland, and then shifting those blokes to Queensland, and then trying to keep the majority out of trouble. Some got in trouble.
You saw it in him when we won that first game. The way he celebrated, bro, and cried, like, that was full on.
Yeah. The thing for me is I want to see that. Like, I want to see that, and then I want to see the injection of feel good when he came in, and just a couple of meetings that they have, and then the plans that they want to bring to the club, and that's what I want to see. And then I want to see what will happen for next year. So what Burden thinks of the club, what Tavita Pangai thinks of the club, Brent Naden, Adakar, Duff, like, these names are coming into Joshua Cork, like, to just talk about how it's going to be. Yeah, 100%. But I want to see it, really. I want to see it on, like, a team like the Melbourne Storm or the Sydney Roosters.
Well, that's the thing. Melbourne Storm and Sydney Roosters would never allow cameras into their shed.
They would never allow it. But if there was a team I want to see in a proper doco...
Oh, 100%. Because you want to see how Melbourne has become the club they are.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Based on this year only, I want to see Roosters more than Melbourne.
Right. Can I tell you, Roosters are my... Like, if they're my club of the year. I know they're not going to win it, but how they were able to somehow remain the club they are with all those injuries and all those losses throughout the year is absolutely impeccable to me.
Yeah.
And by the way, side note, I found out today by watching that final episode that Yvonne Sampson was one of the producers on Tiger Town.
Yeah.
I had no clue. Good on her. That's a great pull.
Yep,
great.
bro. I love it so much.
Well done, to
I love
mate.
it.
And good on the Tigers, bro. Good on the Tigers for saying yes.
It's very hard.
And Madge wasn't against that at all. Like, he would actually call up the crew and be like, hey, listen, we're going to be discussing this in this meeting. Would you like to come to it? Like, full on.
It's good, man. I think it's props to the club. I just think it's very, but it's
Very,
very tricky, bro.
very smart for the club to do.
But it's very tricky because of the circumstances that were put in this year and just watching it all
Yeah,
unfold. I love
but
that.
I also think it was the smartest marketing play they've had.
The
Because if you
NRL?
no, the Tigers.
Oh, the Tigers.
Because think about the amount of kids that are watching that show and thinking, I want to be a Tiger.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? They're switching their team straight over to the Tigers. Well, I'm talking about the impressionable kids, the ones that are still switching teams, whatever, early age. They're switching over to the Tigers. They're seeing interviews with Luke Brooks, Nofaluma, all these boys. 100%.
Yeah, bro. It was a great documentary. Great. It's just unfortunate that there was
two absolutely phenomenal shows by the NRL this year: Building Titans and Tales from Titan. Well done. Really.
You followed suit of the NFL, like you explained to me a little while ago. You kind of followed suit of what the American football used to do.
Well, not used to. They still do it. So they have their main show is Hard Knocks. That's the one that pretty much everyone knows, and that's where they follow a team in their preseason. Yeah. And it's always a team that's going rubbish because none of the good teams,
successful ones, want to do anything like that.
They don't want their locker room. But that's the thing. People love seeing the backstory. I mean, look at that MJ documentary that came out earlier this year. Everyone went nuts for that.
Yeah, that was incredible. That was
such a good doco. That's another level, that doco, bro.
Yeah, I love sport docos, but I love like you said, bro. You love seeing behind the scenes. You love seeing how clubs manage and how they go about it, and they mix with sponsors, and then they just every bit of emotion, mate. It's fantastic.
Yeah, quality.
Very good stuff. Why don't we end this by verse of the week?
Let's do it.
I think it's best we end it. We've gone 2 Corinthians chapter 9.
2 Corinthians 9.
And I've gone verse 7 this week.
9, 7. Go for it.
And verse 7. So every man according as he purposeth in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly or of necessity, for God loveth the cheerful giver. I came across the verse this week, and I read over it tonight a couple of times, and I just had me thinking. We're very blessed, bro. Like, we're blessed with so much, and I know that a lot of us can be blessed, like especially in a time like this, with like still be able to work, and like, we talk about it all the time. And there are some people that have this thing where they think I have to give X amount every single week to God. And if I don't, God's going to look at me different, or God's going to look down on me. Well, God knows our situations.
Yeah.
And all God wants from us is just to give cheerfully, not give grudgingly, not give because, I
have to.
$100 elsewhere. I can use these funds for bills or something. It's God loves a cheerful giver. He loves that when we see from our heart that we are willing to give, because at the end of the day, He's giving us everything. It's very simple. Again, another simple verse. Love it. But I just love the fact that when we come to give, God doesn't need our money.
Yeah,
He doesn't need the dollars that we give Him, because He's giving us everything. But He just wants to see our intentions behind the giving.
100%. It goes back to that story of the widow with the 2 mites.
Yeah,
she gave 2 mites, nothing. It's equivalent now to, I think, a cent. Yet Jesus said she gave more than all the rich people that were pouring cash in. As I think this is such a sensitive topic right now, especially during the whole lockdown. Yeah. People aren't working, this, that. God still expects us to give during this time. And He wants us to give cheerfully. He wants us to give sacrificially. He wants us to remember that, He's should always be our first priority, even in the hard times. Yeah. And you're right. It's not about the dollar amount. It's about whether or not we're willing to give.
The intent is there.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important, bro. I think it's but it's very difficult because it's so easy to go, just give cheerfully.
It's so much easier to say.
So easy. And then when you come to kind of giving, you're like, man, $100 whatever dollar or $10,000 whatever amount I'm going to give for God, I could really use this for something else. Yeah. Could really use this to invest here or put into this or save it here. And we sometimes get caught up in the illusion that we just want to use it for our own beneficiary. I'm not
Yeah.
saying at the end of the day, I know I've given you everything, but just do it from your heart. Give cheerfully. And he wants to see the intention behind the giving. And I think it stuck out to me this week. I don't know. I looked at it and I thought, you know what? This is something that we need to be reminded of daily or regularly. You know, because I know that like for me sometimes, like a lot of the time, it's when my paycheck comes in, the first thing I do is give my tithes.
Well, so that's what I was about to actually ask that. Practically, how do you do it? Is that the first thing you do is paycheck comes in straight?
I have to
Do you
because
do it monthly? Do you do it weekly? How do you do it?
I do it fortnightly. I
Fortnightly?
get paid. I get paid in a fortnightly cycle. So what I do is I know that the second the money comes in, I can't like it won't sit well in my conscience, and I've done it before, where if I don't give straight away, I just feel like I feel pathetic.
Yeah.
So like even if it means like I'll go and spend $20 buying something for my mum or dad, like, I just like if it groceries or whatever it be, I just think the paycheck has to come in, it has to go straight to God.
So that's interesting because what I used to do a couple of years back now was I used to automatically make it leave my account, go straight. So it would be like a automatic payment every month. I scheduled it on my CommBank app, but then I lost the intent behind the giving. Like it was just like it's happening, but I really wanted it to be a personal decision I was making every single month, and so I stopped doing that. So I do it monthly now. So every single month, I purposefully go into my account, find it, do it, whatever it is. And I think it's important that you find what works for you spiritually, with your convictions with the Lord,
Yeah.
and you allow your relationship with God to dictate that, because how you do it is different to how I do it. It's going to be different to how anyone else does it. I think it's just important that we talk about it and we discuss the fact that, listen, there are different ways to do it. Not one way is right, but as long as you're doing what this verse says and you do it cheerfully, you do it, excuse me, with no, you do it with no second thought, and you're allowing God to dictate and move. That's beautiful.
Yeah, but for sure. And the reason I go about it fortnightly is because there've been many times where I would have gotten my paycheck and I would have like, oh, I want to put money in here and I want to give this person I owe $200 to, or I need to pay this and I need to do that. And then sometimes I come to the end of it and then somehow within that 10 minutes of me getting my paycheck, I've lost the majority of it. I'm like, man, how am I going to put my tithes in and then afford for the week? And then
Priority thing.
yeah, 100%. So for a while, you start thinking, and I'm like, no, hang on a sec. I go, unless I first things first, give it all to God, and then and every time I do it, it's like I'd send it off, and I just pray, God, use this for your glory, use this for what you want, use it for your kingdom, use it, you know. At the end of the day, you give me everything. You don't need my X amount of dollars, but I want you to use this for your glory, and I want to use this for those in missions. I even think talking about missions though, I think that's the one that is the hardest to give. I think that there are a lot of people when it comes to giving tithes, they give the tithes, but then sometimes like a missionary will need something, and then we're all like, "Oh, I've already given my tithes. They can just use my tithes to do that." But I think it's so important. Like I've been on a few mission trips myself, and I've seen, and I know you have as well. But you see firsthand the struggle, you know, that these missionaries go through on a very regular basis. And so when you go on these trips, you find a new appreciation for it. And
Yeah.
so for me, it's like, well, I want to, like, I feel like every time I've been on a mission trip, like I went to Sri Lanka, and mate, you see just the way they're living and how they're going about it. It's very tough, bro. Like it's very, very tough. And you think to yourself, mate, from now, I just want to, like, cause you're in that moment, right? You're in that moment, and like, you know, with many other Christians, and you're there, you're working for that one cause to honor God and working missions, and you think to yourself, like, you get emotional, and you're like, yeah, I just want to give $35,000 tomorrow. Like, you know, you want to give everything you got just for that. And it's so important that I find that when you speak to a lot of people and like it comes to a conversation, that the hardest part for them is giving commissions. And it was for me as well. Like I struggled with that as well. And because I was like, man, do I have to give X amount? Like, or should I give X amount? And it was that attitude behind it. That man, missions really like why? And then it's not until you go and you see it firsthand. It's not until you go and you start to appreciate that they have left literally everything to have nothing to serve God.
Yeah.
And that's that for me. That once I had seen it proper, and I'd gone on a few trips since, you just go, yeah, they need as much as support and prayer, whether it be funds, whether it be anything, they need that, and to do it cheerfully, has been the biggest motivator behind it, because now I know that I want to give, and I get sad because, God, he's going to, you're going to use this for your glory, and I can't wait to see how this money is going to be used.
It's good, man. It's a great verse of the week. It's a great way to end our 13th show, my friend.
Mate, 13 in the bank, as I say.
Dusted. It is done. That's another week done. Ladies and gents, thank you so much for joining us. Honestly, Stat and I talk about this off air all the time. We really, really do appreciate the support. We're so thankful for every single one of you that not only jump on, you comment, you subscribe, you like. Some of you are sharing it now. Like, thank you so much. It really does mean a lot. Stato, where can the people find you, my friend?
Yeah, mate. So you go and find me on my socials, Nathaniel Manor, Facebook, Instagram, go name Snapchat, go bananas. And you'll find my podcast league chat with the Stat on YouTube and all podcasting streams. I'm all for negative comments, by the way, like I've mentioned earlier. Just any negative comment, boom, shoot them my way. I'm down to have a laugh. But yeah, that's where you'll find me. So that's where you'll find all my stuff. Subscribe to the league chat with the Stat, guys. While the footy season is going to be ending, I'm not going to be stopping. So I've got a lot of content I'll be bringing out as well. So I'm very excited for that. Leading into a big 2022. Wow, stuff that one up. A lot of things happening. Bigger guests coming on next year. Maybe a couple of players jumping on. So that's going to be we take it off. So I'm excited. So jump on, get on the bandwagon now, and go from there.
Now, I'm thinking I make my debut next year. What do you reckon? On league chat.
Just be very prepped, my friend.
Oh, mate, don't you worry.
Not in a bad way. I don't say it in a derogatory way. I say it in a way because I get people.
I couldn't agree with you more, bro. There's nothing I hate more than not being prepped for a podcast.
Like this one, like today. This
podcast. That's why I have a chat is, but like an interview, a topical podcast, like you need to know your stuff.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why are you there?
It's true, mate. Yeah, make your debut next year, mate. I'm all for it.
Done. Ladies and gents, you can find me on all social medias, Ray Haddad 97. I'm everywhere you find me. Give this video a subby, give it a like, let us know what you want to see. I just realized just now my mic hasn't been connected this whole time, so I don't know what my audio has sounded like, but we'll find out. Ladies and gents, I am Ray. That is Stat. Thanks for having the chat.
See you guys.
Stato.